fellas, let's look at the logjam in the middle of the Western Conference. BD, I'm going to start with you. I feel that the Clippers have to have home court advantage. I mean, when they had home court advantage, it's still hard to trust them sometimes. But I don't think they want to play Utah in a 4-5 matchup. That home court advantage of Utah, the way they play together. What do you think about the logjam?
Yeah, I don't like the 4-5 matchup. I don't like the Clippers in the 5 matchup against Utah. You know, playing at Utah is tough. You know, the altitude and the way they play defense, they match up well against the Clippers. I think the Clippers move up to the 4th spot. And if the Clippers can move up to the 4th spot and get that home court advantage for that first round, then they got a good chance of playing, you know, injured Golden State or a beatable team that they can beat in San Antonio in that second round, which, you know, it's all about the matchup for the Clippers.
Zeke, if you see that 3-6 spot, and because I really want your opinion, do you think that there's a chance? I want you to finish on your thought first, but that 3-6 could get interesting if you look and see Memphis against the Houston, or if the Clippers drop Houston against it. How do you see this coming out?
So there's two things that jump out on the board at me, and that's Houston and Utah. I think Utah sitting in that 4th spot or that 5th spot matched up against the Clippers. I think Utah has an excellent chance of winning that series because they've continued to develop, they continue to grow. I like the way Utah has played all season long. I like their young team. I like what they have, what they put together. Also, when you look at Houston, right? Houston probably is the most dangerous team, you know, that's in the Western
Conference. The one nobody wants to see.
Yeah, because they're committed to their system.
Yep.
They shoot the 3 ball. They shoot it accurately. And in the playoffs, right, if they get hot, they can come into your building and embarrass you by 15, 20 points. Now, how do a team, you know, bounce back after that 15, 20-point loss? You know, and Chris, all of you know, in the playoffs, momentum can change just like that. And that Houston team, they can get hot, and they can go on a roll, and they can run you out of the building, and it will have a lasting effect on you going into the next game.
Absolutely, and it'll be very interesting to see, especially with Houston, how the teams match up against them. I think in later on for the rest of the season, you're going to start seeing the kind of game plan that the coaches are going to try and implement against this team just to see what happens. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle the curveballs and how Harden will handle different coverages and see what happens. But I think in that pool, I like Utah. I think just because of the defense, the culture that they've brought in. I mean, George Hill, I forgot to mention him earlier. He's having a career year.
Yeah, I mean, I
got a question for you, but, you know, because this is going to be Utah's first playoff appearance, you know, under Quinn Snyder. How does experience play into the fact that, you know, the Clippers who've been there, I'm asking you, Chris, like, what do you feel about that?
You know what I feel? I feel that the Clippers would have problems with a team that just come in and is just dumb and focused. You know what I mean? And just playing hard every play. A team that doesn't know, wow, when we lose, we're going to be heartbroken. A team that doesn't know how deep. And Utah is that team. Right. And I see Houston being the scariest team because they can embarrass you. And I see Utah being a scary team because they're going to get punched in the face and just keep, keep coming back and not realizing, the damage.
That's why I say I think the acquisitions that they made over the summer in terms of George Hill and Joe Johnson,
toughness, right?
Those two veteran players in your locker room. I mean, they'll be able to tell the young guys, hey, don't worry about it. We can come back and win the next one, or they can play those, 10 to 15 minutes of, really pressure-packed situation when you need them.
Well, you need a bucket, go to Joe Johnson at the end.
You already know, slow-mo ISO Joe.